Oh my goodness, guys. I completely forgot that my husband and I were taking a vacation to Florida. And of course, perfect timing. We scheduled all this ahead of time. And, the hurricane just went through there. So we'll see how exciting that is. It'll be interesting. But yeah, I completely forgot. We're leaving in like 5 days, and I have so many things to do, like plants everywhere, plants in cups. No one's got water changes yet. Oh my god, even more plants up here. So this is like even more like pressure on me. So what I did today was I made some room on this little rack over here. This is our new tub right there, which will have a variety of different ground covers for nano tanks. That's all growing out. We have more bunch of little cups that were already there before, and now I put all of my jars over here with all my different species of Ludwigia. There's only 5 over there, and then I have more in other tanks. I'm trying to keep them all separate and not mix them, because then I might confuse myself later, and if I want to sell out of these tanks, I want to make sure I have the correct species name and variety and all that stuff. So those ones are over there. Oh yeah, we put in the light panel. So this is a very easy, cheap under the counter lighting right there. You can see there's kind of a strip, and it's being held to on this rack. I guess it's kind of plastic. I think it's being held by these Velcro straps. So I put Velcro straps around the bottom and then held the light, similar with what I did for the top lights. But the top lights here, these are T5s, I believe. So I haven't had any problems with the yellow light. Actually, let me just glance over real fast. Hair grass, I don't know what type that is. This is mostly mini hydrocot tripartita. Has been looking really good. The Monte Carlo actually grew a ton, but I harvested a bunch of it for one of my tanks, so it's a little sparse right now. But I did do a lot of nice amount of growing. And then of course pearl weed, that color is spectacular. There's a couple also non-pearl weed species in there, but it's all more or less pearl weed. And then this is the new one. I should probably put more name tags, but yeah, you can see I have 3 different varieties of well, I think one of them's a sword and the other one's some kind of hair grass. Anyways, yeah, I can't remember the common name off the top of my head. I just know the scientific names right now. What else? Oh, quickly, I redid this tank over here. I don't know if I'll show the footage of that, but yep, that one has been redone. I was having a difficulty with plants getting really thin towards the top, so let me see if I can find an example. Yeah, so you could see, let me try to point this one right here where my finger is. It's like a really tall stem with almost no leaves. That is a pogostemon. It did really well at the beginning, but then it all started to kind of die off, and these were all aquatic leaves. So I realized some of the plants were doing this and some weren't, and that was because I didn't have a thick enough layer of aqua soil. Originally this tank was just for ground cover type plants, so I didn't lay it on thick, or not very thick at all, period. So I added more aqua soil. I had to siphon all of this out, added more aqua soil, put in the sand, replanted everything, made it all pretty, and spread out some plants that I know are getting big. Like this Myro back here gets really big and bushy and needs to be trimmed quite often. Same thing with the Hygrophila corumbosa. That one also gets very large compared to all the other plants. And here is our newest addition to the fish room, a new 10-gallon. So yeah, this one has been recently planted up. Let me get on the ladder so you can see a little better. But yeah, so nothing too spectacular. Some of these are new species, and then some are old ones. Yeah, most of this I did get from the AGA, and I have so many more plants to plant. But in the back here, this is Bacopa caroliniana. There is some mixes of the colorata variety, which is a caroliniana, and then the color enhanced one is colorata, but I'm gonna just call them all caroliniana because they've all been mixed up since now, and they all tend to be green. This one that is more orangish bronze colored, that actually came out of my 14-gallon cube behind me. It was getting a very intense light, and obviously you can see under very intense light the Bacopa was turning, yeah, I'd say bronzish colored, which is fine, but it was getting too tall, so we needed a trim. So that's the Bacopa. Down here is, it is escaping me right now. Name will be down here below. I cannot recall. In the back here is a species of Didipolis. I believe that's how you say it. It's actually really fun to say if I'm saying it correctly. And then here, this is Bacopa moneri. This one has been grown immersed. As you can see, it doesn't quite look like a Bacopa. I mean, it does, but also doesn't look like the aquatic version. And I have one example of Bacopa moneri in the front here. And look at how tiny that plant is and how delicate it is. A tiny little plant, really cute, especially for nano tanks. And this is the normal Bacopa, and this is what that little plant is. But this is the immersed version, so we need to wait for that to transfer to aquatic version. This is a mosaic plant. It's a type of Ludwigia. Scientific name eludes me. I will also put it down below on the screen. Over here is AR for short, AR mini. The name I can't remember. Antheria, no, it's longer than that. Anyways, name down below. And then down here is more of the AR mini, but this is was grown in a tissue culture, so as you can see it is very tiny. And then the ones in the back were grown immersed. So same plant. I thought it'd be cool to kind of show them next to each other and see how well they will transition, because the tissue cultured one is going to get larger, and the terrestrial, the one that was grown terrestrial, is going to get, well, I think it's supposed to get slightly smaller, but it will have different leaves. It might be around the same size, but it will get larger leaves and be more red from what I've looked at pictures of. So we'll see. And last thing to do, if possible, I'm going to try to squeeze in a little tub in that little spot maybe. There's a lot of checking Anubias plants. As you can see, all my little Anubias cups from the fungus infection I was fighting with them. I need to check those and throw away what I can throw away, because yeah, leaving soon and I can't take care of all these guys. More plants. So yeah, right now I am going to empty out this tank. I took out almost everyone, but I think there's a few fry that have eluded me, and I will catch them because we're gonna empty that out. And this is where every one of those inhabitants have gone. These are my blue lace snakeskin guppies, and I guess they're all situating themselves fine, more or less. I don't know what happened to this guy, but he is missing a piece of his tail. I just noticed that this morning, and it wasn't like that yesterday, so we'll see. So all those guys are in there for now, and this will be their forever home. Here we need to empty, we're gonna empty out all of the plants. There is aqua soil in each of these little containers, so I'm gonna sift through, save the aqua soil, cover it in aqua soil and sand, and that will be the end of all of the aqua soil I have. I don't have very much more, which is unfortunate. We got this one here. There's a little tub of aqua soil there. Then we have a little more here. It's all 88 Amazonia, but it's pretty light. Yeah. We don't got much. In addition, we don't have much sand either. This was a giant bag of pool filter sand, and we're pretty much down to the bottom of that, so probably just enough to cap that aqua soil off. Then we have to replant everything. All right. And this is all, the whole replanting is going to be done in hopes that I can get more plants in this tank. I know it already looks a little crowded, but all the little spaces in between everything does add up. So I'm hoping I can kind of go through plants, trim them, replant them, have them grow better. And then by the time I come back from Florida in a week, everybody will look pretty. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Anyways, back to work. Oh my cheese, it has been such a long day. I think this is the third day in a row I've been working like 12 hours in the fish room trying to get everything ready. This is, as you guys have probably seen before, my little Cloverfield tank. I did add some Rickia right there because I was growing for a long time in just a little Dixie cup, and it's hard to see here, but there are a bunch of yellow stems and there are some green ones, but it just was growing in water and needed nutrients, of course. So this tank has life, has a lot of feeding every morning, so I'm sure there's enough nutrients to sustain that Rickia for a while. What else? I don't think anything new happened here. Plants are looking amazing. These are I don't exactly know what to call them. I've been just calling them blue pearl because they do have this shimmery blue pearl color to them. But these are from my blue lace snake skins, and a few of them were born without the lace. As you can see in the snake skin, it's just a full solid blue in the body and tail. So yeah, I'm trying to get some of these breeding. There is one female in here and then one juvenile and a bunch of babies, so I think she's probably hiding in the plants asleep right now. It is pretty late. Let's see. Next, let me back up a little. A couple new additions. I'm trying to move all my booths out of my shrimp, Malawi shrimp tank. Oh, you can see one cherry, or not one cherry, one crystal red. Finally. I do think I lost a few of them, unfortunately, when I transferred them to this tank. But that little guy, very easy to spot, so white. But yes, so I'm moving my booths over or out of that tank. So I ended up adding a ton of, let me see, this is Godzilla, just a ton of booths of the Godzilla variety. And what else? Oh, and then this is some new booths here I got from the AGA, which is called Katharina, I believe, something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I added a little more of the Hydrocot tripartita to the bottom here to fill it out because I removed a lot of the grass. It was just, it wasn't a dwarf hair grass, it's some other type I need to figure out, but yeah, I didn't like the growth pattern. So there's this tank. Oh, and I forgot to mention the biggest part. I moved in all of my males and females from the 10-gallon to this tank. This was originally created for them. I was just waiting for it to cycle through. Now we have all the adults in here, and this was their tank, but as you can see, it is now covered in plants. So I went through, took out all the little pots. Maybe I'll show on screen what it looked like before. And I replanted it with 80 aqua soil, the usual, and pool filter sand. I do have a couple things, like I need to put the name tags in. So with my other tanks over here, or this one, the white pool filter sand is so stunning, but it does not stay that way. But it looks really nice and like clean for a while. But either way, as you can see, I have these little name tags I made. I bought some just acrylic, I think they were like keychains, like 4 keychains, and I basically just wrote the names on those little circles. And then I bought a little acrylic sticks, and then I hot glued them together and put them in the sand. Yep, pretty self-explanatory. What I used to write on the name tags is just some good old-fashioned Sharpie. I used black. I think you could use probably any color. It's supposed to be fine to put in an aquarium after 24 hours. So I have name tags sitting there that need to be just cured for 24 hours, just sitting in the air, and I'm gonna put them on sticks and then we'll put them in the tanks. So not everything is perfect and going great in the fish room, of course. Unfortunately, this pile of rocks here is all Bucephalandra Batakeg, I think. Batakeg kawa. I'll put the name below somewhere. Anyways, you can see here, completely smush. Smells very bad. Smells so rotten. And so a lot of these pieces, these are all not salvageable anymore. And as you can see, if I had like one piece for every rock, it's a lot. We lost a lot, unfortunately. Now these were from a tissue culture, or 2 tissue cultures worth, and basically yeah, they didn't adapt well, and I don't know if that's just a Bucephalandra tissue culture thing or if it's because my setup is incorrect here. This is a planter for all of my mosses. Got some Cameroon, Milne, Pilia, Weeping Moss, Physidens, Nobilis, and then normal Physidens, I believe. And they're all on these, well, one of them came on this thing. But for the ones I did, I kind of just like put them in the holes of this wood here. I did that for the majority of these. This one too, you can see it's in the holes. This one over here also. So yeah, and then the weeping moss I tied. Anyways, there's that, and there used to be a bunch of little basically rocks with all of my stuff. And as you can see, I had to go through and clean up what I could clean up. Now this is not rotten, this is more or less hard, except for the bottom is a little squishy, but those are the roots. So yeah, I had to wash all these off, and we're only left with a few unfortunate, a few pieces. So we have like this little piece here, which has already lost a leaf. It's looking okay. It's got 2 new little leaves on it, and there are just a bunch of these leaves floating around. It is what it is. I do have a couple snails in here, like that guy, and there's a couple more, and they will help eat up all of the dead matter, dead plant material. Oof, and it smells so bad in there. So I water changed it, and I water changed it yesterday, I water changing it today, and I'm gonna put a little bit of carbon in here so it doesn't smell so rank. And yep. Oh, and if you're interested, this is the Cameroon moss. It is pretty cool. It's kind of see-through, and it gets kind of big, so there's that. And then we have the mini Pilia, which is this guy right here. It looks pretty good. Yeah, so that's just that. I'm gonna fill this up with water, but yeah, just gonna show you things don't work out. Plants don't always make it, and if I was here, I probably could have caught some of this rotting material before it got worse, but because the water was so polluted with rotting plant material, I think that kind of led to more of the plants rotting in the end. But I do have a few good pieces. Let me see if I can find a bad piece. Like this, that one's okay. Some of them just have 2 leaves, so we'll see if they make it. So like this has just 2 leaves, but maybe it'll make it. We'll see. Anyways, I'm not going to attach those to any more rocks. We'll let them float and see how they do, and then we'll see if I need to attach them once they're doing better. But yep, let me add more water to this and a few more snails. So here is the moss bucket planter thing. All of my Bucephalandra is just floating, at least most of it, but it'll be fine. I put a few more snails in there and a few pieces of some activated carbon, so hopefully that will help with the smell and the foulness of the water. Should have done that before I left, but didn't think it was going to end up that badly. Anyways, we have a lot of little pieces. You could just see there's like a ton of tiny little pieces of Bucephalandra just everywhere. So I'm hoping that some of these will make it. Some of them definitely will, and other ones I'm like, maybe not, but we'll see. So we'll check on them in a little bit. But this is the bucket with all of its glory. No bubbler, no nothing. That's just reflection from a different tank. And yeah,